Welcome to Global Morning.
Death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure. Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
When you call the police station, before they even leave, they take permission from
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
the struggle with the ASU strike.
Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks.
It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Mondays to Sundays to a wide range of the latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
A very beautiful good morning to all our viewers around the world. Happy New Month to every one of you. It is the first day of February 2025. January has come and gone. I think January was not as long as some persons think it was going to be, but then some persons still felt, well, January is always January, and this January has come and gone. Congratulations to everyone who made it to this first day of February 2025. Happy New Month and happy Valentine's Month. Well, some persons start counting the day to Valentine from the first day of the month, but then I think it's too early. But one very important thing is that in the midst of the challenging economy, Nigerians are very resilient people, and here we are. January has come and gone. How many people were able to probably achieve their visions, their New Year resolutions for January? Some persons look at January as the planning month, the month they take out to plan for the rest of the year. Some people take it as a time of sober reflection, when last year is being looked into, 2024 is being looked into, to help set the pace for 2025. And just like a joke, January has come and gone. This is February. And I wish all of us a very wonderful February and a very smooth February too. So many things happening in the economy, and of course business and economy, stock market surge. The Nigerian stock market gained 1.06 trillion in 1 week, with a 1.53% rally in January. Okay. The economy is dwindling. One very important thing is the fact that some economists have come out to say, well, what is happening? Nigeria is on track. But some persons will come and tell you, well, with what is happening, because I've hosted development experts, economists, and they come with different ideologies, different assessments of the economy. Some said, well, Nigeria is on track. Some other persons will tell you Nigeria is not on track, looking at what people are going through right now, the hunger in the land, the fact that the price of commodities are on the rise. This happens on a daily basis, and Nigerians are wondering, when you say there is a surge in business and economy, and of course the stock market, the number one thing you should be thinking of is, I know what Nigerians are thinking of, what they want to hear is, now $1 is to 1 naira, or probably let's just say 500 naira, because as I speak with you, it is still above 1,000 naira, even though there is a significant, should I say significant reduction, okay, in the high rate of dollar just in few days. But then it is still not where Nigerians really want it to be yet. All right, moving away from there, let's talk about the tariff hike. NCC has come out to say, well, the tariff hike is going to be, it will be 100%, right? But then it will surely happen. It's going to happen. Looking at the economy, then you begin to put one or two together and you begin to ask questions like, no matter what happened, is it not the federal government that is supposed to subsidize some very important services for its citizens? And you will be forced to ask questions like, who uses what and who is meant to pay for it? What is the yardstick to be used in measuring how many data someone uses in a day before you make payments? All these things matters, and majority of the things that happen these days, people don't really care about what is happening, the fight, the statement. Some persons don't even listen to news because they feel what they hear from the news mass them more than making them, because the informations you absorb on a daily basis, it's either is preparing you positively or is preparing you negatively. So you need to be very, very careful with the kind of informations you digest. Don't depend on social media for vital informations. Whatever information you find on social media, make out time to do your own verification. That's going to go a long way, helping you so that you don't, so you are not misinformed. And that's the reason every day on Global Television, when we come up for Global Morning, we try as much as possible to take you through the headlines for the day, what the papers are saying. These are papers that have editors, have desk officers who look at different stories, different angle to different stories, and they do a balance before they let it out. But then on social media, anyone can just see anything on the street right now. Before you know what is happening, in the next 2-3 minutes, it's already on the internet and it's already going viral because it is something of interest. It's a story that is of a human angle. I know how human angle stories fly, all right? Like, let's say, for instance, a woman macheted, the husband, things like that. Before you know it, you didn't even verify it whether or not the man is alive. What the social media people do and bloggers, they just hit the airwaves immediately. They just hit the road. They hit the internet immediately, and this information starts circulating. We've heard a lot of people come out to do damage controls. Some come out to do apologies. Some come out to do disclaimers. Because these informations are not vital, they are not verified, they are not balanced. they are not concise. So many things happen to these stories. So you don't have to be gullible to the social media, the antics of people on social media. People come on social media for different reasons. So whatever reason it is you're coming on the social media, it should be for good. And as a matter of fact, moving away from there, let's also look at the fact that Owando's profit soars as Owando PLC posted a 65.5 billion naira full year profit, with revenue hitting 4.1 trillion. That's a nice one. How many companies are doing well in Nigeria? How many organizations are doing well? We're talking about warring investors, allowing them come to Nigeria to invest. But then how conducive is our environment? That's the question we should be asking. But so good. Congratulations to Owando. We got to know this, and it's a very good one. Let's move and also look at the fact that so many things are happening. Kano State budget increase. Kano State budget is being increased by 31%. All right, due to rising expenditure needs. They need to up the budget a little bit because there are some concerns that are coming in. But how many states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria would want to do that? All right, would want to do that. You know what it means. As a matter of fact, a lot of people in Nigeria today cannot boast of, should I say, 3 square meal? They can't even boast of 2 square meal, not to talk about 3 square meal. All right. Then the issue of sharing money, disbursing money to people, we've heard about it. So many persons, the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry, and of course, even the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I think recently gave out money to some Nigerians, and we call them, is it average Nigerians or no one? But then, the less privileged in the society. Now, what is the yardstick used to make sure the poor of the poorest? Because they always tell you these things are meant for the poor of the poorest. All right, the poorest of the poorest. I don't know, but then what yardstick are you using to determine who is poor and who needs palliative, who doesn't need it? When was the last time population census was conducted in Nigeria? I don't know. It's been a very long time. I think some months back there was an agitation. You get on some of the major roads, you see inscriptions pointing to the fact that there might be census very soon. Then all of a sudden they said it was being postponed for reasons best known to the authorities. But then this is a program that it's supposed to affect and touch every life. Every life, as a matter of fact, every life. All right, as it is right now, it's good to know that Nigerians are getting used to a lot of things. But then I don't think the federal government should just sit down and watch everything happening, okay, to Nigerians, especially the ones that should I say, impose some form of tactics. Some people really don't want to eat just 1 square meal in a day, but the challenging economy has actually made that. But then look at it from the other side. What some people are complaining about is what some persons are looking at as opportunity. I can remember of a story. I was once told a story about a man who traveled to, was it India also, and discovered that the people were walking barefooted, and he discovered there is a need, and he traveled back, got money, probably got loan, went to, is it China also, and produced slippers in mass and took it to that part of India, and of course people rushed it, people patronized it because it was a good idea. That is a location that some persons have visited over and over and over again. The only thing they will say is, oh, so these people still walk barefooted till now. They didn't know that that is an opportunity. What am I trying to say? In a challenging economy such as this in Nigeria, the way it is now, we should look at some of the things that we can turn to our own advantage. Some of the things that can become opportunities for us. All right? Just think about it. Hit the road running, and of course, you won't depend on the economy of this nation anymore, all right? Because you will be operating your own economy based on your understanding. Probably you started a business and that business starts flourishing. Before you know, you won't even know that there is hunger in the land because you are not directly affected anymore. You got yourself out of the situation by force. Some people used to say something like by fire, by force. That's exactly what you did. Then one thing that I've discovered about people from this part of the world is that they like giving people fish, all right, and not teaching people how to fish. That's one ideology that I don't like. Teach people how to fish so they don't come back to you tomorrow to ask for fish anymore. Because how many fishes are you going to give to the people that will satisfy them, let's say consistently, for a month or two or even to a year? As soon as that fish finish, as soon as that money you give them finishes, they will hit the street again, which is not the target, which is not the aim of this disbursement. As a matter of fact, let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return. I'll look at the pages of the national dailies. What are the papers saying this morning? Do stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed. Stay connected from Mondays to Sundays to a wide range of the latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Welcome back. It is still Global Morning on this beautiful Saturday morning. Well, it's a special edition because this is the first Global Morning in the month of February. Happy New Month once again. In case you're just joining us, it is Global Morning on Global Television. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and of course, I'm taking us through the national dailies for the day. We have some newspapers right here. Let me get started with the Daily Independent. That is Saturday Independent. What's Saturday Independent saying? Ondo Guba Tribunal begins hearing. Ondo Guba Tribunal begins hearing. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just being curious. Let me say this. I'm waiting to hear that an election was conducted in a state, in a local government somewhere, and nobody went to court. I'm just waiting for that time. It's achievable. It's achievable. It was the same Nigeria that was applauding Ghana and the United States of America after the election because they felt, well, you don't need to wait for international observers to know if the election was free and fair. You don't need to wait for Yaga Africa to know if the election was free and fair. All this put together, you will get to know that Nigeria as a nation still have some way to go. I don't want to use the word long way to go in politics, but then the actors know exactly what they are doing. Although Guba Tribunal begins hearing, one rider to that story. Parties to present 149 witnesses. Details on page 3. Anambra colors. Shuttle bus drivers protest. Force government to halt arrest vehicle confiscation. That is in Anambra State. Shuttle bus drivers protest. Force government to halt arrest and vehicle confiscation. Details you can find on page 31 of the Saturday Independent. Then this one says, that's the big story. The big story says, NAFDAC, NDLEA raise alarm over spike in drug abuse. This is, in fact, I don't even need to talk much about this. You know what I'm talking about. NAFDAC, NDLEA raised the alarm over spike in drug abuse. Some writers to that story so that we can have a better insight into what that story is saying. The first writer says poverty, unemployment, corruption, major cases. This one says inadequate support, network leave young people vulnerable to peer influence. That's coming from an activist. And NDLEA acts needs a strengthening to address loopholes. Narcotic experts. He said acts needs strengthening to address loopholes, and this is coming from of course experts. These are narcotic experts talking right here. This one says tragedy. That's the kicker. How Nigeria hotels are fast turning to slaughter slabs. This is absolutely bad because most times we hear of situations where some men carry ladies to the hotel and a whole lot happens. It's either someone didn't survive from there. It's either someone gives up in the process. It's either, so many things happening. And it's on the papers this morning how Nigerian hotels are fast turning to slaughter slabs. And why are these things happening? Or should we say CCTV should be installed in hotel rooms? And that will be invasion of privacy. You can't do that. But by the time we keep hearing repeated cases of issues in hotels, it becomes worrisome. I think on the walkway, at least the walkway before you get into the room to do anything, there should be maybe CCTV cameras to capture who entered there and all of that. But then even seeing whoever enters in there and the action that took place inside, you wouldn't know. So hotel owners should know who and who they admit into their hotels to avoid problems. All right, moving away from there, let's quickly look at other headlines this morning. Why Lagos 2024 Dirty December is the new gold standard for festive celebration. Commissioner for Arts, Culture and Tourism is the one saying that, and the details is on page 19 of the Weekend Independent, Saturday Independent to be specific. More headlines still coming. 2027, Bode George wants PDP to expel members with inordinate ambition. How would you know this? One writer to that story, he says other members are united, but while heading to disaster. All right, party will be heading to disaster. That's coming from Bode George. This one says fireside chat with Real Housewives of Lagos star Debarta Lawson. That's on the entertainment scene. And finally, from the Saturday Independent, we will take over more states in 2027 polls. PDP vows we will take over more and more states in 2027. That's coming from APP, and it's coming as a vow. Looking at, let's even talk about the People's Democratic Party a little bit. I'm not saying other parties are not having issues, but then the problem in the People's Democratic Party is becoming something too serious for me. I don't know, but I think these are things that can actually be resolved within the party. We have party stakeholders. We have NWC, the National Working Committee, which says, well, they may not be involving themselves, all right, but in so many things, and they even stand divided because of the Wike Fubara feud that has been on. But as a matter of fact, I think it's so important that the People's Democratic Party put their house in order. A house in disarray cannot really stand. So I just want to believe that 2027 will not be what a lot of Nigerians are thinking, because the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party are not giving APC a run for their money, which is not supposed to be. Okay, but as a matter of fact, I think it's so important and it's so good to know that at least elder statesmen are also making statements in that regard. He says, unless members are united, party will be heading to disaster. That is coming from Bode George. And of course, I have this one, which is the last. We will take over more states in 2027 polls. APC is the one vying. The way it is right now, if it continues, I think they should be able to get more other states, all right, because the states that are dissatisfied, for Benue State, for instance, Austin Agada, the APC chairman, was removed, and so many things happened. And at that period, there was a faction. All right, there was a faction, even in Benue State, a lot of factions. But then it's so good that a lot of people are singing the praises of the present governor of Benue State, Hycinth Alia. And as a matter of fact, let's move away from there and go to the next point of call. Where's our next point of call? All right, the Saturday Times. What is the Saturday Times saying? The big story says federal government disburses 2.4 billion naira despite volumes of abandoned projects. Federal government disburses 2.4 billion naira despite volumes of abandoned projects. Well, we don't have to be talking about this back and forth all the time. We don't need to be talking about the issue of projects not being executed in Nigeria. It's not news anymore. And the reason why we keep having these situations over and over and over again repeatedly is because no one has ever been held accountable. And I don't say has never been held. A lot of people are not being held accountable. Some persons may have been held accountable, but then majority of the people, especially the ones that I know, are not really being supervised. They give them free hands to operate, to do whatever they want to do. I could remember sometimes back when there was an installation of transformer, electric transformer in some states around Enugu, and I was privileged, all right, I was privileged to be part of that process. And during the supervision, all right, so many things happen that one cannot even think about. You can't even imagine it. But then I think one of the things that contributes to projects, non-execution of projects, even if being awarded, is because number one, there is no supervision. Then number two, the greed of amassing wealth for themselves. You know, they want to make their pocket fat. So what they do is they even compromise the leaders where these contracts are being awarded, so that at the end of the day they can be covered up. This is not the best thing to do. This is not the right thing to do, actually. All right, as a matter of fact, more headlines are still coming from the Saturday Times, and above the nameplate, this one says group commends Tinubu over Olofin's appointment as NSITF board chair. Details on page 9. All right, moving away from there, and you also have the picture of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Fixed neck meeting for March 13. PDP governors tell NWC. A fixed neck meeting for 13th of March. PDP governors tell Fubara. Well, as a matter of fact, so many things happened. One of the things, all right, that anyone will want to think about is how these things play out. Some people just hear these things and it looks like story in their ears. It just looks like someone telling tales. You know, you remember Tales by the Moonlight, as if you are sharing a tale by the moonlight. But then I think these are professional words. The people to whom it is concerned should take proactive action and see what will become of it. Moving away from there, let's look at other stories making rounds this morning. Okay, I've taken this. This one says gang commends Tinubu over Olofin's appointment as NCITF board chair. That's already taken. And of course, this one says FCT security agencies begin profiling of Panteka operators. Profiling of Panteka operators. All these people that come to your house and shout condemn, condemn, condemn. A lot of them are criminals. A lot of them. One was apprehended in my compound just I think a week or so, a week ago. What they just come around in the name of they want to throw away your dustbin probably, or in the name of you have a job for me, I need a job because I need to eat. Then by the time you engage these people, they become informants. They check out the environment. What's the security situation? Some of them that you see carrying bags, looking very, very dirty, are so intelligent. So by the time you meet with some of them, you will know that they are actually intelligent. And as a matter of fact, let's see how all of that is going to end. This one says a fixed neck meeting for March 13. PDP governors tell a new working committee. Details on page 7. I'm not emphasizing more because we've already talked about and As a matter of fact, this one says FCT security agencies begin profiling of Pantica operators. Very, very important if that is going to hold water. Teams poised to make history with 2 Grammy wins in one night. That's on the entertainment scene. Okay. Teams poised to make history with 2 Grammy wins in 20. In fact, as a matter of fact, if that's on the entertainment scene, then this one says troops sustain pressure on insurgents, neutralize 385 terrorists. This is a good one. Do you know that Nigerians are so good at blaming people? Some persons will tell you, what are the security operatives doing? They should put all of them together and send them to the northeast so that they can stop this terrorism going on, the banditry going on, the kidnapping going on. But then it's just beyond mere looking at what is there and make adjustments, make corrections, do the needful. That will be very important. It's necessary. It's worthy of note. And as a matter of fact, that's going to be the size of the headlines from the Saturday Times. Moving from Saturday Times, let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return and the newspaper analysis and review will continue. Do stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed. Stay connected from Mondays to Sundays to a wide range of the latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Still looking at the pages of the newspaper on Global Morning, this first day of February 2025. And of course, let's quickly look at the first news. Above the nameplate, the writer to this story says, the kicker, I beg your pardon, Tinubu waging war on opposition in anti-corruption fight. If you want to know who is making this statement, pick a copy of the first news. Naira gain against dollar, euro, pounds in parallel market. That's the good news. Retirement shake up. PLC approves IGP Agbetokun's age mates. Wow. And then this one is the star story on the first news. PDP must remove snakes within or face disaster. I'll take that again. This is coming from Bode George. In one of the earlier papers that I took, he made a statement and I was being emphatic about it. Bode George is an old member of the People's Democratic Party. When we have elders like Bode George in the party, Atiku Abubakar, and a host of others, I don't expect the party to have issues with maybe election, who to be elected, or who to front in 2027. But as it is right now, PDP must remove snakes within or face disaster in 2027. That disaster is not something to face. This is coming from Bode George. Then this one says, Nigeria's non-oil exports hit $5.4 billion in 2024. That is NEPC. Then this one says PDP governors to federal government reject economic policies now or open hardship. This one says Ned Nwoko dumps PDP joins APC. Ned Nwoko, the senator, what are you expecting? What were you expecting? Some of them get into these offices, and as soon as they grow up the ladder, they begin to see the importance, where it's going to pay them more. We've even had people defect from the Labour Party to the ruling party. On this program, we've had a discussion like that before. But now, as it is, let's just look at it critically. Ned dumps PDP for APC. He is now a member of the APC. All right, as a matter of fact, more headlines still coming on your way this morning from the first news. And this one says, JAMB shifts 2025 UTME registration to February 3rd. JAMB shifts 2025 UTME registration to February 3rd. Let's see how that is really going to go. Moving away from there, let's get to the Blueprint newspaper. Above the nameplate, U.S. funding halt. U.S. funding halt, a wake-up call for self-independence. That's federal government. 2027, that's the kicker. Opposition, as a matter of fact, opposition parties in later as defecting rumors, thinking, well, anyone that wants to defect should defect. You can defect and of course get what you want, and reverse can also be the case. If you're dissatisfied in a particular party, why not put heads together and raise the party, let the party now stand. As a matter of fact, this one says Max Air incident. NANTA seeks enhanced safety measure in air travels. UFC Adesanya talks tough into face wide manner. As a matter of fact, that is something of interest to the sport lovers. Then this one says Nigeria is set to begin production of HIV/AIDS test kits and antibodies. I don't know, but then I think that is a good one if it is really being done. We don't wait until these situations happen before we begin to think of what I call damage control. As a matter of fact, let's look at the Punch newspaper. Let's see how punchy it is. The Saturday Punch. What is it saying? US-based Nigerians go into hiding amid Trump's deportation crackdown. One writer to that story, and the writer says, we've stopped going to church, work, and public places. This is immigrants talking. They are scared of going out now, especially those that their hands are not clean, those that don't have the full legal rights to stay in the United States. They are the ones panicking. So what do the government of Nigeria need to do on return as these people are returning to the country? Would they be given many jobs or whatever? Because some of them are used to the lifestyles outside there, and they may find it difficult to an extent to reintegrate into the society. And you know what it means when someone tries to integrate into the society and all the things that they need is not there. You see them indulging in, we're not encouraging crime, but with that situation, anything can happen. But then I think the authorities actually know what they should be doing. My time is running very fast. Okay. PDP governors back Ude Okoye as National Secretary, demand NEC March 13. Moving away from there, let's also look at another national daily. This one is the Saturday Vanguard, which the big story says security operatives coordinate our business. Oil bunkers are the ones making this statement. Security operatives are the ones coordinating the business. Okay. A letter to Malam El-Rufai. Details on page 26. Can Nigeria still qualify for 2026 World Cup? My answer is yes. I don't know who is asking that question. You can just pick Saturday Vanguard and you get to see all these stories. Don't name structure offer me, Peter Obi tells cleric after donating 20 million naira. That's a welcome development to where that money is actually going to. Why more Nigerians are burying their dead overseas? Details on page 11. I know that sometimes it won't be very easy to transport a corpse all the way to Nigeria because you want to lay the person to rest. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm rounding up. The Nations may be the last paper that I will be taking today. PDP crisis fester as governors back Ude Okoye for secretary. Some writers to that story. The first writer says, Anyanwu, that's the kicker. I remain PDP national secretary. That's Anyanwu. Some other persons are supporting Ude Okoye. Governors speak March 13 for most held NEC meeting. How Thursday fracas at both meeting started. Senator Nwoko formally quits PDP, may join APC. Okay, that's that from there. And of course, it's been a very wonderful time on Global Morning today. This is going to be the size of Global Morning for this beautiful Saturday morning, the first day of February 2025. To stay informed, educated, and entertained, stay on the channel. Don't move away from there. DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and we are also on Nicomsat. We are on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. On Facebook and YouTube, we are Global Television NG. As a matter of fact, you won't regret following us, and of course, on our social media, you can like and subscribe too. Well, my name is Ramsey Enoch. It is another wonderful weekend. I wish you a very wonderful weekend, and once again, happy new month. Thanks for joining us. This is the size of the Global Morning for this Saturday edition. Bye-bye for now.
Welcome to Global Morning.
Death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call the police station, before they even leave, they take permission from
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
the struggle with the ASU strike.
The Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks.
It was a life. The president never gave me any deadline.